Why is Israel government pushing controversial reforms? Some key points. Israel's money is worth less compared to the US dollar than it was before. A lot of people, about 160,000, protested against a plan that could make the government more powerful and hurt the courts. A former leader of Israel, Ehud Barak, said this plan could be really bad for Israel and take away some of its freedoms. Let us now talk in detail about it. The money in Israel, called the shekel, is not worth as much as it used to be compared to the US dollar. It is down by 6%. The leaders of Israel are making new rules that could make the government stronger and hurt the courts. Many people in Israel protested against these new rules in Tel Aviv and other cities. They think these rules could be bad for Israel and take away some of their freedoms. Even important people like business people, teachers, and soldiers agree with the protesters. A former leader of Israel named Ehud Barak said these new rules could make Israel become a dictatorship, which means the leaders would have too much power and the people wouldn't have enough. What are the proposed changes? To put it simply, the planned changes to the legal system will make it much harder for the Israeli Supreme Court to cancel laws that it believes go against the country's constitution. The Knesset, which is like Israel's parliament, voted last week to move forward with a big part of these changes. They essentially have four main clauses. 1. Allowing the Knesset to override Supreme Court decisions with a simple majority of 61 out of 120 seats, while, currently, the court can block any law it deems unconstitutional. 2. Removing the Supreme Court's ability to judge Knesset legislation and other government decisions for reasonability. This principle was exercised in the court's recent decision. 3. Giving the most control over appointing judges to the ruling coalition, rather than to a current set committee of legal experts and representatives. And 4. Allowing ministers to appoint their own legal advisors, and taking away the authority of the latter to make binding decisions. What do you think about these clauses? Comment down below. Economic impacts. The problems in Israel's government are also affecting the country's money and how well its businesses are doing. The main index for the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, which shows how well companies are doing, went down almost 4% last week. A big bank called Goldman Sachs said in a letter last Friday that even though things are already bad for Israel's money, it could still get worse soon. The bank thinks that people who invest in Israel are now worried about the new rules that the government wants to make, and that this worry is making Israel's money worth less compared to other kinds of money. Zvi Eckstein, who used to work for Israel's bank, explained that the new rules that the government wants to make could be bad for Israel's technology industry. Israel's economy is different from other countries because many people work in jobs where they invent new things and work on new ideas in the technology industry. This kind of work needs a lot of money from other countries, and most of this money comes from investors who live in other places. Eckstein said that because of the new rules, people who have this kind of money might not want to invest it in Israel anymore, which would be really bad for Israel's economy. Another person who studies politics named Plesner said that when a country's leaders make the courts weaker, it can make it harder for people in other countries to trust that the economy will do well in the future. This could make investors less likely to put their money in Israel, which could hurt the country's ability to borrow money or do business with other countries. Dressler said that he hopes the leaders of Israel understand how much risk they are taking with the country's economy. What do you think about it?